Now, here are the 5 things we need to do to beat the Cardinals. Okay? We have contain Murray. Okay? Much easier said than done to contain this dude because when this guy's in space, it can get ugly really quickly. Last week, he had 13 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown on the ground. And this is their quarterback. Okay? Very, very important that we somehow contain this guy and not let him get out on a bunch of run plays because he could also throw on the run. And so contain Murray is number 1. Number 2, don't let Hopkins beat you. Okay? Make anyone else beat you. Do not let Hopkins beat you. And let me tell you why. Last week, Hopkins had 14 catches for 151 yards, and he almost scored where he got tackled at the half-yard line. Okay? The rest of the team had 12 catches for 79 yards. He nearly doubled up the rest of the team on yards. Okay? And with about the same amount of catches. This dude, he went, I think it was 2017, he went the entire year without a drop. Okay, when he was in Houston. One of the best receivers in the game. Double team him. Do what you have to do to stop Hopkins. Number 3. This was number 3 last week on the list as well. Haskins has to improve his accuracy. I said last week he has to hit the open man. He did enough. He did not do great at this. He has to do it this week because 17 for 31, 178 yards, and a touchdown ain't going to get it done this week like it did against the Eagles. Okay? This is not... So he has to play better than he did last week. Number 4, run the ball. 49ers average 4.5 yards per carry with their running backs. They averaged 4.9 yards on the day for total. And it could be argued that the 49ers didn't run enough. They had 22 carries in the game total for all their running backs. Gibson has a real chance at breaking out this game. This defense is not the best defense in the world. This defense can be beat in the run game, and so running the ball will be huge against this defense. Last but not least is long and sustained drives. Okay? We have to allow our defense to get rest to be able to keep up with this Kyler Murray at the quarterback position for the Cardinals. Okay? We have a good rotation of guys to keep people fresh, but if we start seeing these guys with 30-plus snaps all over the place and like 50-plus snaps for our best guys, this could really hurt our defense and limit our chances to win this game. Because if they have a bunch of time of possession, this could really hurt our young defense. So, is there anything you thought that I needed to add, that something was more important than what I thought? What did you think here?
No, I mean, I think you covered it. I think a few of them are like, not, I wouldn't say duh, but it's, I agree that they got to exploit what the Cardinals are going to give them, and that I think Scott Turner and his second week maybe a little bit more relaxed and sees a little bit, because again, no preseason games, you have nothing but training camp, so I'd like to see less off tackle and running at the pile in the middle, which is what we did for years, and they started out the game, and get some people in some space. I think, I know you said no tight end screens. I get that, but
that was a little bit more facetious than anything.
No, I get what you're saying though, but I think some more misdirection, keep them off balance, and stay on the field. And I mean that works in any game. That if your offense can sustain a drive, then one, yeah, it's obvious. Yes, you're giving your defense a rest, but secondly, you're not giving their offense the ball as often. So if you can, have long sustained drives, then you're going to win the time of possession. So if I'd be perfectly honest with you, I did not watch the game, so I was surprised that the Cardinals won, although I did pick them in my Pick'em league to cover. I think it was 6, or was it? I can't remember what But I think that right now I feel like, well, I want to see this. I want to see this defense play against an offense that's not as damaged as Philadelphia's was.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see second game now where they're going to come out on the field. I think Chase Young's going to be a little more relaxed. I think Jack Del Rio has a better feel for what he has, and like Ron Rivera said that everybody was rusty, including Jack Del Rio. He goes, no one had called a game in what seemed like forever. So he said everybody started off rusty, including the coaches, and he said then they got into a rhythm. And this week you're going to have Jack Del Rio watching game film. He's believing that he can call a zero blitz or single coverage, and with the idea, okay, we're going to throw them some looks, and I'm looking forward to what he can do. And I know the 49ers have a good defense. I don't think it's as good as it once was, but it's still a formidable defense. So I'm not saying it's going to be an easy victory by any means, but I just, like I said, I want to see this team play against a team that is, I know nobody's 100%. They probably got injured players, but for lack of a better term, a team that's 100% that has a good team, and to see how they show up in week 2.
I gotcha.
Then I don't see, and just one more, I don't see them waiting a quarter and a half to start playing. I see that. And again, I think the offense is going to still continue to find itself. I get that. I think offenses are, like they've always said, offenses are harder to get into a rhythm than defenses are, because it's more complex. But I think that, I want to see this team show up from the opening gun and play 4 quarters and see how they do against a team that has obviously got something going on, because they just beat the 49ers.
Yes, I really like the Cardinals this year. The Cardinals are a really good team. But I just want to defend my 5 things, okay? Obviously, all the things I'm going to say in the 5 things we need to do to beat whatever team are going to help you win. But my point is, these are things that we need to do to win. Like, there's some teams that you could play where you don't have necessarily the time of possession, and that'll be okay, and you win the game, right? Like, yes, obviously, if you have more time of possession, you have the ball longer, that helps no matter what. But you could have 35 minutes of time possession against Kansas City, and Kansas City in their 25 minutes scored 50 points. But my point in saying that the long and sustained drives is that our defense is going to get tired chasing this kid around. Kyler Murray is going to make us chase him around the field, and that's why I'm saying things like that. Last against the Eagles, I didn't say I didn't just say run the ball. I said we had to have a creative run game, because if you just ran the ball up the middle against the Eagles. Anyway, so I just wanted to defend my 5 things we need to do.
There. No, I'm not arguing with you. They make sense.
Cool.
I just want to see, like I said, and Carson Wentz is not a speedster by any sense of the imagination, but he has historically been slippery.
Mm-hmm.
And the Redskins, the first time they got to him, if you notice, he ducked under the guy and was able to make a completion. But they learned from that, and it was like, no, now they just had, like I said, in most cases, it seemed like 2 and 3 guys were coming from all areas. The pocket was being destroyed, and they didn't there was no, there was no way for him to go. And I understand, or nowhere for him to go. And I understand that Kyler Murray is a different player, but I want to see Chase Young on the outside disrupting defenses, lunch carding him back. And, I think they had a couple coverage sacks against Wentz where he had some time, but there was nobody to throw to, and they eventually got to him. But I'm just looking forward to a progression over this defense that now they know they can do it. They know each other, and now this week they're going to show up in the first quarter and not wait till the 4th drive.
For sure. Okay. This leads us to our prediction And we're getting close to the hour mark, so we're going to get out of here after this. So if you have any last comments, you can go put them in there. We'll read them at the end. But
And thanks for hanging out with us, by the way.
yes, everybody that was here, thanks for hanging out. But I'll go first because
You're negative Nelly.
I'm a realist. Okay? That's all I like
Yeah,
to
if
call
they were
myself.
going to lose to Philadelphia, I get it.
Hey, body bag game. All right, here we go. I have us losing this game 31-20. Okay? I love this young defense. This defense is so talented. 5 first-rounders on the defensive line. We've got Landon Collins, another first-rounder on as a safety. Like, there's a lot of talent on this young defense. I don't think they're going to be ready to handle this mobile quarterback that we're about to see on Sunday. We also have very young and unproven corners, and that does not spell success against a DeAndre Hopkins, who's the second best receiver in the league. So if Kyler Murray can buy time, which he will buy time. Can we limit him to those situations? Hopefully we can, but he will buy time, and then that will allow DeAndre Hopkins to eventually get open. And DeAndre Hopkins, I see probably doing very well because he could do well against anybody. But I think we're going to lose this game 31-20, and it's going to be a little bit of a wake up call to some Skins fans that think, oh wait, we're legit. We just beat the Eagles. Yeah. It's like this team's still young. We have an average roster, and this is going to bring some Redskins fans back down to earth, but that's okay because we're building, and we're moving in a very good direction. What is your prediction?
You finished? Okay. Do you know Kendall Fuller? He was doubtful for this game and didn't play.
They're not going to come out with the injury reports until tomorrow.
No, but I'm just saying. But his injury is not like out 4 to 6 weeks, so it's something where he could be back. Obviously, he had a chance. They said he had a chance of playing last week, so he didn't. So I'd like to see him back in the lineup. As I said before, I'm ready to give Troy Apke another chance to get the jitters out of the way. I'm an optimist. I said earlier in the year I thought that they were going to go 2-0. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say this. I'm going to stick by it, and I'm going to say, let's say 24-20.
24-20.
Yep.
Skins win.
Yep. I said I was sticking to my 2-0.
Hey.
So.
I like your prediction better. All right.
So I'm, like I said, and you know me, I am a homer. I'll be the first one to say it. I always look at the glass half full, but I don't think this prediction is maybe quite as far out of line as I've gotten, in the past of being like a blind optimist that, oh, they're going to come in and play a great game. I think, like to your point, we have the makings of something really, really good. And yes, they're young, but I think also Ron Rivera's got them all playing together and believing in themselves, and I'm looking forward to it. I think we have a really good shot.
As I said, I like it better. All right, guys, that's a show. Thank you guys for hanging out that was hanging out with us live, and thank you for anybody that was watching this after the fact on the video on demand. And I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, and comment anything down below that you didn't like that we said, that you liked what we said, or your thoughts on the matter. Comment down below. Thank you, and until next time.
Okay. I was going to say, just tell your friends that every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock we're live from now on. If you liked it. If you didn't, then don't tell them.
This guy said it. This guy said it. Live on Tuesdays. Yes, thanks. All right, well, till next time. See ya.
All right, see ya.